This is John McAllister with the McAllister Scouting Report. And today on Around the State, we're going to talk with linebacker from Hilliard Darby High School, Brayden Kohl. Brayden is going into his junior year. He started last year as a sophomore and could have a really good future. Works out, trains, getting stronger, and he's long. I like the way he played in football. I like the way he runs downhill, and also his intelligence, making the good decisions. Thank you. Sit back and watch my interview with Brayden Kohl from Hilliard Darby. Brayden Kohl, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Tell me where you go to school.
I go to Hilliard Darby High School, and I'm 2024.
In the 2024. Okay. And that's going to flash there in a minute. My son lives down in that area. That's a great area. You got a good head football coach there too, for sure. Brayden, why football? What started you on football? Why football?
Really, I grew up in an athletic family. Both my parents, did sports in high school, and my brothers did sports in high school, and we're both fortunate, to play at the collegiate level. And I've grew up around sports. I played basketball when I was younger. I've played football really my whole life. So, I mean, I know nothing but sports really. So, I've been doing it for years.
And you're playing linebacker on defense, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're just finishing your sophomore year. What do you think so far has been the keys to your success? What has made you a pretty good football? You started as a sophomore in a Division I school. So what's the keys so far? What's the keys to your success?
I think really honestly the people who push me, both my older brothers give me a lot of advice going into this season, packing on muscle, packing on weight, and my dad and my mom, pushing me every day to become the best I can be. So
That's good. That answers one of my questions. And my next question: who's been kind of a big influence on you so far? And you've probably answered that. Anybody else? Your mom and dad and your brothers. Anybody else?
I would say probably my coaches last few years, they've really, pushed me, and I'm glad for them to that. They want the best for me, and that's all you can ask for.
It doesn't seem like it when you're in August and they're getting on you a little bit
Yeah.
about running harder and things like that. But usually everybody knows what they're doing, which is good. I ask you a couple silly questions. Here's the first one. Who would you like to hang out with for one day? What athlete would you like to hang out with for one whole day?
To be honest, I would probably say uh Michael Parsons, linebacker, Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Um, I just love with the fire he plays. He's a linebacker. He comes off the edge sometimes. Gets some sacks, plays back in coverage. And I would really want to see what he does, his daily routine on and off the field.
Right.
I feel like that'll be interesting, and I just love the way he plays.
He's pretty tough, isn't he?
Yeah.
You might be taller than he is too, by the way. I don't
Yeah,
know if
maybe.
he plays a lot bigger than whatever his height is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about football then. Let's talk about linebacker. You're playing outside, and I told you after watching video, your highlights and stuff, maybe you'll be an inside guy or at least start there and slide out or start outside and slide in. And
Yep.
it depends a lot on your growth and how big you get, over this next year, really. Uh, what do you see as your strengths, Brayden? What are your strengths as a football player?
I would say honestly, my instincts as a football player. I have a lot of good instincts and my straight on speed. I feel like I can get to the quarterback really fast on a blitz, or I can track down the backers or the running backs on run plays. So
What else?
I feel like in one-on-one situations and I'm playing out in coverage, I feel like I can play some good defense against those fast receivers. Coming on a crossing route.
Right.
And
Well,
yeah,
you drop into coverage pretty well,
yeah,
and you only get better. At least you have the right technique. You as you get bigger and stronger and faster, that'll develop. You open and things like that, and you do. Is the other thing you do, at least starting to do well, is change in direction, and that is so important now. That's all you hear about.
yeah.
I hear about from college coaches. Does he change direction? Does this linebacker, is he able to shift and go to the other side? I think the other thing you do is you play downhill pretty well. And that's what you're talking about. And then you find the ball. Now that sounds kind of silly, but not every linebacker can find the football.
Yeah.
And not everybody can do that. But you play downhill well. And then I think, we talked about earlier, what do you have to work on then? What do you have to work on?
I would say probably side to side movement, probably quickness. I feel like I can get better at that. Um, hmm. I would say probably um, I probably getting back in coverage better. You can always improve on that. Uh,
Right.
I feel like I had one interception this year. I feel like I could have had probably about three or four more if I did the right thing. So,
Right.
I feel like I can improve on those two things.
That sounds good. I would tell you that you're correct and improve on. Now the other thing is now this sounds really, you can look at your highlights film. Sometimes you get there, but sometimes you got to be a little different pursuit angle
Yeah.
because sometimes you're just getting to the ball carrier and you want to be there.
Mhm.
But that's little stuff I just watch on video. But you sure have you're hungry. You get after the football. Do you play any other sports?
I did track last year,
Okay.
and all throughout, probably since elementary school up to about eighth grade, I did basketball as well. So I was a three-sport athlete for most of my young life.
Why not track this spring?
I wanted to focus on, getting my muscle back, uh, to top shape, and I wanted to get up to about 215, and felt like doing track may have um, prevented that, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and all that. So
Well, obviously, there's two sides to look at it, and we're not gonna. But the speed thing with track, I don't know. You're probably, sometimes just go to get a good workout. But you're taking a speed training right now, aren't you? Private
yes,
speed training. So that's
yes.
good, though, and don't miss.
Hmm.
But that's really good, and it's up at the spot. I think you said up in
Dublin.
Dublin,
Yep.
someplace. I've I've heard about it. Chuck Gresham is a good friend of mine, and he trains guys, and he trains Jack Sawyer, some of those
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
But he's pretty good. Uh, so no other sports. What about school? Is the classroom like a foreign country to you, or do you enjoy getting there?
I do enjoy the classroom a lot. You need to take care of that part of your I guess academics as well. You need to take care of that just as much as you do on the field. So you know, um, I do enjoy school a lot.
Okay. How about grades? Pretty good, solid.
Yeah, I'm about a 3.0 right now, 3.1. Always continuing to raising that up a bit. Uh,
Right.
it'll be better.
That's yeah. I enjoyed school too. But that's about my problem. No, it was fun. Okay, we talked about improving. We talked about those things. Let's go to another silly question. What talent would you like to have, you don't have, and you will never get? So
Ooh.
you can pass on that if you want. What talent would you like to be able to do? You can't do it. You will never be able to do it.
I would probably say, as you know, some of these athletes you see nowadays, um, just have the jumping ability that they do.
Yeah.
Uh, I think my vert's by like 32, 33. I feel like, I wish I had a jumping ability of like a 40. You see like these linebackers nowadays, which is crazy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, and some of these backers also running 4.3s, like 4.4 flats as well. And that's just something, I'll continue to improve towards that. But if I had that, man, I would love
Well,
to have that.
honestly, that's not a very good answer because you probably could get there. You can get four. I mean, if you're talking about college, because your whole body's redone in college. With
Yeah.
the strength program and everything. But if you can vertical 30 inches right now, 30, you're doing pretty well. By the way, that's pretty good. And I'm one of those guys that believes in explosion, like vertical jump, long jump, broad jump.
Yeah.
Explode, because I think that's huge for guys. It's just, and that's all the part we were talking about earlier. That initial burst. Once you get, and then and you close, you finish, and you'll get more of a pop on that. That's
Yeah.
good. What advice would you give to a freshman? Now you're going to go into your junior year.
Yeah.
The freshmen are playing, and you're probably in the same area, but you see one dragon. What are you going to tell him about staying at it from
I
your
would
experiences?
I would say probably, just don't take it as, if a coach yells at you or they're on you, that means, they're trying to help you as best they can. They're not doing that on purpose. And I would just say, just slow down. People, some kids, just think so quickly and they want to,
Uh,
and then they end up making a mistake. I would say to slow down and, just do your thing and just, take a deep
it
breath.
takes a long time to do that, to learn to
Yeah,
break.
it does
You,
take time.
you probably will get better and better, but just letting the game slow down for
Yeah.
quarterbacks and linebackers and defensive backs. Okay, uh, what's the what's the best thing about playing football? What's the best thing about it?
I think honestly, just going out there, every Friday night and, playing with, the people that you grew up with
Yeah.
ever since, when you were a young age, 6, 7 years old, and, you're doing the best you can to win. And I think the drive for it and the drive for it to get better, to improve on your ability is like the best thing ever. And, especially to go out there with your best friends and do it there's nothing better.
All these guys I interview talk about the team aspect, especially after a win, man. Hugging
Yeah.
and jumping around, the team aspect, and good teams cover for each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They're team. They call it the brotherhood sometimes. It's a band of brothers, and I think and football is the biggest team sport. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I mean, I'll get arguments probably from track, but track's not a team sport and
Yeah.
things like that. But that's really good. Okay, I call this scrapbook moment, and you're young yet. Uh, has there been any play like last year, or even as a freshman in a freshman game, where it just stood out for you, where it's something that you'll talk about for years? Maybe even, is there any time that something, and if not, that's okay. I mean, is there, were you,
Um, I think it was towards the end of the season last year, and it was on a 4th and 1. It was towards the end of the game, and the other team was on their side of the field. They're on like the 20-yard line. They went for on 4th down and 1, and on my own, I was like, I'm a blitz. I'm a blitz. I blitzed, and I got a tackle for loss for about 5 or 6 yards, and that really won us the game. And not only we scored on that drive, we ended up winning by about 20 plus points towards the end of it. So that was a game changer. So
Yeah, good. Well, that's one you want to stick in your scrapbook. Yeah.
yeah,
Has there ever been a time for you where the light came on, where you just said, you're kind of going along, and all of a sudden, I mean, there was something happened. You said, hey, it's time to step it up, or it's time to get my crap together and get after. Was there ever a time like that for you?
I
If
think it was um, it was during the summer going in my sophomore year, so last summer.
okay,
Um, you know, the coach is one of the best for me. They knew I wanted to play. I needed to play this year, to get a good head start. Um, and they were pushing me every single day, and you know, ended up paying off. And I can't thank them enough for that. That's really when I started to realize, like, all right, yeah, it's time.
there's a reason for them doing that too.
Yeah,
And it's time for you to step up. Two more questions. Okay, energy's huge. Okay,
yeah.
energy's huge. What energy as a sophomore do you bring, and going into your junior year now in the 24-year class? What energy do you bring to the team? What kind of energy?
I think I think being a leader is probably one of the most important things on a football team. You know, keeping people together, um, sticking together is the most important part, and I think I bring that to the table. And as well as when a big play happens, get hyped up. Some people, when a big, you get tackled for loss, some people just go back to the huddle and stay quiet. But I mean, you just got a good play, and sometimes you just need to, get hyped up.
Well, starting as a sophomore and bringing energy is tough sometimes. You
Yeah,
better be able to walk your talk, right? You
yeah,
better be able to get after it and stuff. Okay, let's talk recruiting just a quick minute. It's just starting for you, I think.
yeah,
I was looking at some video and I saw you, and then I talked to coach, and I think you've done well. And how's recruiting? You're just starting, right? Mac
yes,
schools are talking to you a little bit.
yeah.
Tell me about camps. What's your outlook on camps this year?
I am going to quite a lot of camps this year. Probably about 6, 7. I'm going to about mostly max schools.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I'll name a few: Ball State, Bowling Green, Miami, Ohio, and then towards the end of June, I'll be attending Ohio State football camp. So that's really my outlook on this
Got it.
summer.
That's pretty good perspective. My last question. Okay, why am I going to drive, other than to see my son's family, why am I going to drive to Hilliard to watch you play next year? Why, what do you, why would I recruit you? What's your biggest strength? And I want something besides football talent.
I think honestly, not only what like you said, bringing talent to the table. I think bringing leadership to the table. I love being a leader. I love being a vocal, you know, teammate, and I think that's what I really bring to the table. And getting people hyped up. And honestly, the Hilliard Darby atmosphere in a home game, there's nothing like it. It's loud and it's great to be there. And that's what I bring to the table.
Sounds good. Okay, Brayden Kohl, I really appreciate this interview. Okay.
Yep.
And
Thank
you've
you.
done well. Stay with